Hello everyone. In this recording, I'm going to work on an example on converting Roman numerals to the decimal system, also known as the Hindu-Arabic system that you may have heard of before, using the multiplication, subtraction, and addition rule. All right. Now, as we said before, the Roman numerals, the Roman number system, not only supported the additive system, but it also supported subtraction as well as multiplication. Now, in a previous video, I have shown how to do the conversion that involves addition and subtraction, but this time we are going to work on an example where multiplication is also involved when we are doing a conversion, right? Now, the multiplication that the Roman system supported was a very rudimentary one, and it only supported multiplication by 1000, right? And we'll talk more on that. But before that, let's just quickly go over what the different Roman numerals are, the symbols. There are 7 numerals in the Roman system, as we see here on the right hand side. I've listed them out. The symbols are all obtained from the Latin alphabet system. I represents 1, V 5, X 10, L 50, C 100, D 500, and M 1000. So there are 7 of them in the Roman numeral system. Again, we see that there's no numeral that represents 0. All right, and another thing that we already talked about in a previous video was that the values, if you list them in order from lowest to highest, then the values increase in alternate multiples of 5 and 2. So 1 times 5 is a 5, then the next one, 5 times 2 is 10, 10 times 5 is 50, 50 times 2 is 100, and so on. All right, and then the other numbers are formed by combining these different numerals, and then of course we use the addition, subtraction, or multiplication rule as the case may be. Now, in order to obtain a number by adding, using the adding procedure, this is the rule we must follow. Again, we've gone through an example of this in a previous video, but I'm just reviewing it in case you haven't had a chance to go through the previous one. So we add the values of the digits when the left digit value is greater than the right digit value. So this symbol means greater than. So if the left digit value is greater than the right digit value, then we add. So for example, VI, right? This number here, the left digit is a V, which represents 5, and the right hand digit is I, which represents 1. And because 5, the left hand digit, is greater than the right hand digit, we just add. So that's the rule. So V has a value 5, I has a value 1, 5 plus 1 is 6, so VI represents the number 6. For subtraction, it's the other way around. If the left-hand digit is less than the value of the digit to its right, then we subtract. So again, in this example, I and V. All right, I again represents 1, V represents 5, but the digit I on the left hand side is less than V, 5, that is. So we subtract 5 minus 1 is 4. So VI represents 6, IV represents the value 4. Now for multiplication, first of all, how do we know when to multiply? All right, and again, like I said, multiplication is only by 1000. All right, you cannot multiply by any other value. It's only multiplied by 1000. So when do we know that there's multiplication involved, right? We use a bar above a numeral, above the Roman numeral, to indicate multiplication. So for example, V. This is a V, all right, here. V with a bar above means multiply the value 5 by 1000. All right, so let me just take out my pen and do some writing here. So this is how, when we say a bar above, that means you can take any numeral and put a bar above it. For example, X and then a bar above it. We can have a C with a bar above it. That means whatever the value of the numeral is has to be multiplied by 1000. So V with a bar above is 5 times 1000, giving us a value of 5000. IV, now this has 2 digits and the bar is above both the digits. So we have I and a V, all right, and both of them has the bar above it. In this case, we first have to evaluate what IV represents. So IV represents the value 4, right? IV is 4. So when we have the bar above the value 4, then that means it's 4 multiplied by 1000, all right, for a value of 4000. So IV with a bar above it means 4 multiplied by 1000. All right, so these are some of the rules that we are going to apply when we go about doing a conversion. So I have a number to convert in Roman numerals. It's L bar M C M X L I V. Now this will involve multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So I'm going to go over this step by step to explain to you how to come up with the value in decimals of this numeral or this number in Roman. So again, you can always look up the values, all right? These will be provided to you. You don't need to memorize, but we can just look this up, refer to it if we can't remember which numeral has what value. But I'm going to first space this out properly so I can show clearly how I'm going about figuring out the conversion. All right, so I'm going to space this out. So over here, I'm going to write L bar. Let me use a different color, all right? So L bar, and then we have M, and then a C, M, X, L, I, and a V. All right, so let's go step by step. V has a value 1. So let's, okay. V has a value 1. So we go 2 digits at a time. And like I said before, I'm going to stay consistent, and I'm going to go from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. I'm going to progress from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. You can go from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, but just to avoid confusion, let's follow one process. All right, so V represents 5. So let me write that value here. V is 5 and I is 1, correct? But 1 is less than 5, correct? 1 is less than 5. So what do we do with these 2 digits? We subtract. So over here, we will be doing 5 minus 1. This involves subtraction. All right, again, you have to look at 2 digits and compare. So V is the rightmost digit, and the digit to its left is I, and since I, the value of I is less than V, we have to subtract. So 5 minus 1. Then we have L. L represents the number 50, and X, all right, so again, 2 digits at a time. L represents 50, X represents 10, all right? If you can always keep this by your side, move up and see X is 10 and L is 50. All right, so here again we see 10 is less than 50. The value to the left is less than the value to its right. So 10 less than 50 means again subtraction is involved. So here we are going to do 50 minus 10, minus 10. All right. Now we go to M and C. What is the value of M? M is 1000 and C is 100. Correct? C is 100. Again, subtraction involved. 100, which is to the left of 1000, is less. So there's subtraction involved. 1000 minus 100. All right. And then M is 1000. M has a value 1000. L by itself has the value 50. However, because there is a bar above it, it means 50. It means 50. Let me write that down. 50, but there's multiplication involved. So we will go 50 multiplied by 1000. Yeah. All right. And then, so 50,000, this makes it 50,000. So 50,000, and let me change this 50 to a 50,000, obtained by multiplying, is greater than 1,000. So that means we can just add 50,000 and 1,000. All right. So let's bring it up here. 50,000. All right. So it's going to be 50 times 1,000 plus 1,000, and then plus 1,000 minus 100 plus 50 minus 10 plus 5 minus 1. So now let's add them up or subtract as the case may be. So 5 minus 1 is a 4, and then a plus. 50 minus 10 is 40, plus 1,000 minus 100 is 900, plus 1,000 stays as it is, and over here the leftmost value is 50,000. And why 50,000? Because of this bar over the L. All right, so it's 50,000. Now you can go and add all these up. So 50,000 plus 1,000 is 51,000. 51,944. So the final answer is 50,000. Sorry, let me write this down. Here, it's 51,000. All right, 1,000 here. So 51,944 is the decimal equivalent of L bar MC MXLIV. All right. So this is how you go about using all three systems: the addition system, subtraction system, and the multiplication system that are supported by the Roman number system. All right.